What's going on, family? It's your boy, Anthony ONeal. Before we get to today's show, man, I have a quick announcement to share with you that I'm super excited to share. Yo, on October 17th through the 27th of next year, 2024, I am going to Africa, specifically Ghana, Africa. And guess what? I want to invite some of you all to come with me as well. You know, earlier in 2023, man, I made a irresponsible statement that I regret saying, man. And because of that, I said, you know what, let me get over to Africa, specifically Ghana, and some other beautiful areas over there to where I can just really learn more about my culture, more about our people. And I didn't want to go over there by myself. I said, hey, let me open this up to other people who would love to go see the motherland for themselves as well. So if you want to join me on October 17th through the 27th of 2024, I want you to go to anthonyoneal.com/Africa. That's anthonyoneal.com/Africa. It is a $200 deposit. You have 10 months to make your full payments. It is super affordable. Heck, I'm even opening this trip up to your kids, all right? So listen, before we get to today's show, will you join me? Will you come? We only have 100 slots available. And our last trip, we sold out within a matter of 2 weeks. Registration will close the end of January 31st of 2024. And we're going to have a good time. So join me in Africa, and let's get to today's show. Peace out. Why are you so striving for something if it's bringing stress and bondage into your life?
Yeah.
And you're right. I see so many people saying I'm a girl boss, I'm a girl CEO. And while I understand the concept, I understand the concept. And I may get some, let me fix my chair for this one. I may get some pushback on this one. I'm learning, because I done said some things, I'm like, oh, Lord, I could have said that better. I understand the concept of being a girl boss because they're trying to promote, hey, entrepreneurship, ownership. But I don't want to marry a boss because I'm not an employee. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, like, I really want to be connected to someone who is really building something, but it's like we're working together. Huh. That's interesting.
I want to, though, for there to be space for duality, right? Like, I want there to be space for me to be a girl boss.
Yes.
And be with a man who's also a boss, and it not cause conflict, right? Because while I'm a girl boss in my professional life, it doesn't mean that I don't know how to show up as the soft, feminine, etc. You know, things that you need as a man. So I don't want men to be off-put by women who are girl bosses, who have those titles rightfully, and show up that way, like I show up very dominant and aggressive professionally, right? I think personally, people who know me see that there can be another side of me.
Right.
And I appreciate that. I want those things to exist. So two things can be true at the same time.
When I walked in the studio this morning, first thing I said, feminine, and she run things. Okay. That's the very first thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have that feminine energy. I mean, y'all, I wish we could show her shoes. We can't show them. Shoes is on fire. Like, this is, I'm like, okay, so very soft, but it's like, yo, I'm a boss too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's hard. And I don't know how we got over here, y'all. This is weird. But we're going to stay right here just for a little bit. We're going to get to this back and forth because she has so much wisdom on really blackness and entrepreneurship and really equity in the game. But do you think it's hard for girl bosses, girl CEOs, to really to turn off for their man?
I don't.
You don't think so?
I don't think it's hard. I think it's similar to what you said, right? When you said, like, it's hard to be in alignment and in your purpose and not be successful, right? Or produce revenue. I think it's the same thing. I think that it's hard to be around a man or a partner, whoever your partner is, right? And that be your person and you not want to soften and you not want to fall into that person and you not want to show up for them. I think that's really hard. I think if you're struggling with showing up for your partner or being less aggressive or dominant or whatever you don't want to be, I think it might be because there's a lack of alignment there. And we don't want to face that reality, right? Like, we want to make things work, like, and then we complain our way through relationships. Well, just like business, you got to know when to stop. Like, you got to know when to walk away and say, like, you know what, this person isn't allowing me to be my best self, and not even my best self, but my truest self. Like, I think I've been in relationships too, right, where I wasn't my truest self.
Because of him?
I don't want to say that.
Okay, I had to ask that question.
I think that's unfair.
Like, if I can't be feminine, I mean, it's him.
No, I'm not saying, it's definitely not that. It's not a blame thing, right? It's not because I'm not being my truest self because of him.
Yeah.
I'm just not being my truest self, period. And I need to be reflective enough to recognize that. And recognize that this is not the partner that I can be with that allow me to settle into exactly who I want to be and how I want to be.
Yes.
So this partnership doesn't work.
Yes.
It is not that he is inadequate, he is anything other than amazing.
Yeah.
This just isn't the right partnership.
Yes.
Right? And that happens in business and life and love and all sorts of relationships. I think in love it just gets a little bit convoluted, right? Because emotions get involved and it's a little bit harder for us to reconcile.
Okay.
But I think we need to. Because you also thrive differently when you love well. I think you also show up differently to the world and for your business.
You know, I think out of all the ladies, no disrespect, out of all the ladies who've been on my show, I think you've worded that probably the best way that men could receive that. You know, because you was like, hey, man, if we're not aligned, it's not just you, but neither one of us can show up and be our true, authentic self.
Yep. And he's probably feeling that too.
Same
right?
thing.
Yep. And you have enough respect for your partner to recognize that we should amicably walk away from this so that we can both remain intact, because we're two amazing people separately. It just doesn't work well together.
Being a successful Black woman who loves our people, what would you say? And correct me if I'm wrong in your opinion. I don't think we've seen, in my almost 40 years of living, I don't think I've seen in my 20s Black sisters going this hard in the business world. They've always I've always seen them get educated.
Yeah.
You know, but I've never seen them like, all right, let me go get a job, let me go start a business, let me go start providing. Why do you think our sisters are going so hard? And a part of me, I feel like it's on us, the men. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, dang, are we slacking in stepping up in leadership and stepping up and leading the way? But where did this movement come from? Or when did our sisters have to really start stepping up the way they're stepping up today?
I think that Black women have always stepped up, right? I think that we've stepped up in different spaces, right? Like we've always held down things at home.
True.
I think that now we just kind of have the audacity and the space to be able to show up outside of the home. And so that same grit and grind and hustle that allowed us to be amazing moms and wives and things is now translate, like we see that it can translate in the business world. And so it's like, okay, like let me see how these skills, you know, transfer, and they translate well. And so we become successful business owners, and then there's this like domino effect. And with social media, you get to see it, right? So it's like, okay, I've seen these people do it, I think I can do it. So I do think that that's some of the benefit of social media. Like it highlights and spotlights the successes, and you see people do things well, and so it's like, okay, I think I can do this now. So now you have the courage to do it because you feel like you have an example of what it looks like. I think that's one, but I also, for me, I'm inspired by seeing Black men win, right? Like when I see Black men do well and I see you guys being successful, I want to match that energy. Like I don't want to come to you needing you to take care of me. I want to come to you with everything I need, knowing that you have everything you need, so that now we can just live and have fun, right? Like I want somebody to have fun with. I'm not looking to be taken care of. And I think that a lot more women are adopting that mindset. They're like, I don't want you to feel like I'm a burden to you. Like, let's live fully and freely together. And the only way that I can do that is if I come to you with something.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to compete with you, right? I'm not interested in competing with a man. I'm not interested in competing with my sisters.
Come on.
Right? I just want to show up well and fully and hope that, again, this conversation about alignment, right? Like then there's this immediate alignment because we match each other. Like that's the real like match, right? Like when we talk about compatibility, we don't really talk about compatibility in terms of like mindset, financial compatibility, right? Because for so long, men have been expected to be the provider, and I feel like that's cool. And I think every woman could appreciate a man who wants to show up that way. But I also want you to be okay with me putting my card on the table.
I often get questions about life insurance, where to buy, how to find affordable rates, the simplest application process, and most importantly, where to secure coverage instantly. Like, people don't want to wait a long time. They want the coverage right now. Giving the startling statistic that nearly 40% of African Americans do not have life insurance coverage today, it's even more critical to address these questions. My recommendation to all these questions is simple. My friends over at Ethos Life Insurance. These are the people who hold my life insurance policy. You see, their mission is to simplify life insurance and make it accessible online to everyone. No paperwork, no medical exams, or check this out, no blood tests. You simply answer some health questions online, and just like that, you can secure coverage the exact same day. But the cherry on the top, family, Ethos offers an incredible deal that I wish I had when I signed up with them for my life insurance policy about 2 years ago. You see, when you secure a life insurance policy through them, they will throw in a will and estate plan for 100% free. I'm tripping and I'm excited at the same time because I personally spent $2,500 on my estate plan at the beginning of this year. So getting it free with a life insurance policy that might cost you as low as $50, that's a no-brainer. I mean, like, none. Don't just take my word for it. You see, Tanner R., a customer, secured a $500,000 30-year policy without a physical exam through Ethos. He says the price was great. The process was completely easy. You see, Ethos truly values our time. You see, Alex got approved for a $1 million policy in just 5 minutes. She said, simple and straight to the point. Comments were, surprisingly, user-friendly and great communication. So, are you ready to protect your family's financial future? Don't let this statistic define you. I want you to get covered today and get a will and get the life insurance policy and get the what's it called? The estate plan for 100% free. All you gotta do is go to anthonyoneal.com/ethos. Again, that is anthonyoneal.com/ethos. Secure your coverage today and ensure peace of mind for your loved ones. All right, let's get back to today's show. Put on the table. That's what I'm gonna say.
We both need to be taken care of, right? Like, and I think it's important for us to be able to take care of men and it not be sexual. Like, can't be all that we have to offer you.
Come on.
Like, we can't, and I think we recognize that now. Like, that's not enough, right? Because we also see on social all the half-naked women getting cheated on. So we know that that's not enough to keep you anymore, right? So
the body don't keep you no more.
It's not enough. So I need to make you feel taken care of. And if that means that you can put your card away tonight and I'm going to handle dinner, or I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to do something for you, then I think that's important too, for you to know that, like, if I fall off, she got me. She has enough. She knows enough to help me to get it back.